Welcome to the Navigating Your Life show. I'm your host, Nat Williams. Tonight we'll be talking about juvenile diabetes. Joining me to share her story and to help us understand the issue of juvenile diabetes is Krista Martucci, and she is a college student who's been living with type 1 diabetes most of her life. And I want to welcome you, Krista, to the show.
Hello.
Good. So why don't you share with us a little bit about what your journey has been with juvenile diabetes?
Well, I was diagnosed when I was about 6 years old.
Wow.
I was on needles for about 4 years maybe, and
When you say needles, that means you were putting the
syringes,
okay.
yes. And I was introduced to the pump, and I've been on the pump since I was about 10, so 9 years.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and it's helpful.
Okay. Today we're sitting down with the Smith family, which comprises Carl and Ann and Rachel and Ryan. And how did you know, Mom and Dad, that this was a challenge that your children had? Where did the information come from? Was there an incident, or it just was?
Well, you know, when my daughter was first diagnosed, I did so much research because I was trying to figure out how this could have happened, because we didn't have it in our family. I had a grandmother who had type 2, and he had a grandfather. But we didn't know where it came from, so I did so much research trying to think if I could have made it stop.
And it was in November when we first saw something happening and a change in Rachel.
What did you see, if you don't mind sharing?
She was very thirsty.
She was very thirsty. She didn't look herself. She was pale, and we noticed it for months. And it was finally, I think, in April of the following year that we noticed and realized, you know, we better check out and see what's really wrong, you know, and we took her to the pediatrician, and that's when it all started.
Wow. I'd like to welcome to the studio now two guests. We have first Carla Moitzen, who is an adult with type 1 diabetes, as well as Kaylin Slowick, who's a pediatric nurse practitioner who also has diabetes and also works with individuals who have the diagnosis as well. So ladies, thank you for coming. So thank you, Kaylin, for being here, and thank you, Carla.
Thank you.
Do you think that enough people know about diabetes, and whether your colleagues at work, your other people that you have contact, do you think enough education is going on about?
Well, I think there's education out there, but I don't know if I believe that a lot of people really understand all about it. I mean, I think people get misconceptions through like a lot of different things, and people think that when you're low you drink a little glass of juice and everything stops and you're okay, which is not necessarily the case. People don't realize that like diabetics are misdiagnosed with being bipolar because their moods fluctuate with their blood sugar. That's like a big thing too. And so people think that you're acting weird when it's just sometimes your sugar is that way. I know that there's like a lot of people who don't understand enough about it. So.
Okay, but I want you to be careful, you know, Carla, you may have given some people excuses who have some mood problems, but we'll just go off and say I have diabetes, so just bear with me. Well, thank you, Carla, for sharing.